Hello everybody, welcome back to the video on my YouTube channel. I'm Nicholas and today we are back with this week's EXO reaction, and today we are back with a video that many people have been looking forward to, especially after the first one went so damn well with the views of over 33,000 views. That was my first catching up on EXO, and today we are back with the next catching up on EXO, and today we are going old school. Today we are going to be checking out EXO's first 3 music videos from the year 2012. What is Love, History, and Mama. My goodness, 2012. This was nearly 10 years ago. A freaking decade. My goodness, I think this is now by far the oldest content of K-pop I am reacting to. I think the most recent one before that was 2014 or so. I'm actually not sure right now, but goddamn. That is really old school. But before a bit of talkative stuff, because actually I wanted to do for this week back tunes for mini album Bambi actually yesterday, but due to schedule changes I had to push that back for a week because it just got too squeezed, just too much content. You know, you usually should upload a lot in a week, maybe like 3-4 times. So on this reactor I'm already with daily uploads way above that, and I would have had like over 10 uploads or so if I didn't hold back a little. So that's why we're doing back here next week. Now you may ask, okay, why are you doing this now instead of the back here one? Simple, because I wanted to do 3 for my NCT November, which has 9 catching up on videos, 3 times NCT, 2 different ones. 3 times NCT, 2 different ones, and then 3 times NCT. And I want to include EXO for that. So schedule-wise, it just made the most sense to push back here and back a week, and now go for this week with this catching up of video. And while my first one, which I mentioned, went insanely viral in the views, 33,000 views, so holy shit, thank you so much again for that. There we had focused on the biggest hits and more recent releases, even though there was actually already nearly chronological order, I think. We are from now on going to be checking out all other EXO MVs, which we are going to be doing. We'll be checking out every single EXO music video. We are now doing those in chronological order, means we're, like mentioned, kicking off at the very beginning with What is Love, which was, I think, the pre-release single. I think their actual first mini album has a different tracklist, but this is their first release music video on Don't Let Me Lie, I think January 30th. January 30th. Yeah, I think that's the name. I think this is sitting at around 38 million views or something like that. What is Love? 9 years ago. 39 million views, released on January 30th, 2012. Holy shit. 2012. I was sitting in school at that time, playing Pokemon all day, still playing football before my knee injury. Holy shit. I had no idea that this type of world exists, you know? That's crazy to think about. But more talkative stuff. I already know we're around 3 minutes already, but more talkative stuff before, because back then was a bit different for EXO. Back then they had a twin unit going on with 12 members actually, 3 members left over the years, and they had EXO-K and EXO-M, which is basically what I would not be surprised to see down the road for NCT, who are apparently soon be making another subunit for Japan, soon one for Hollywood and whatnot. There we already had an NCT subunit release a song after its release in a different language. I would not be surprised if NCT one day says, we all release the same song, and 1 to 7 for English, or Hollywood for English, NCT 1 to 7 for Korean, then WV for Chinese, and a new Japanese one for Japanese, so that they cover all language basically. That's what they wanted for back then, with the title track released in both Korean and Chinese simultaneously for both countries, with 2 subunits within the main song basically, or within the main group basically, 6 Chinese and 6 Korean. We are only going to be checking out the EXO-K / EXO, like the Korean version. Has nothing to do with the language. Actually, a little fact I can tell about myself, because I will be honest, if you don't tell me beforehand what type of language the song will be, I will maybe struggle to actually, you know, tell what it is, because I don't actually care. Gimme by NCT 1 to 7 is one of the most listened to songs this year, and up until last month, where I scheduled my NCT November, I did not know that song was Japanese. I just thought, you know, it's just another release from them. I didn't know or didn't realize it was Japanese, you know? If there isn't a very typical Korean word in there, you know, like shipa or whatnot, then I won't really realize it, because I don't really care about it. I don't care if it's Chinese, Korean, Japanese. It sounds awesome nonetheless, you know? But it's always for me about the first impression. That's why I, as example, can't listen to regular, different version other than the English one, because that was the first time I listened to that song. And here for this one, this is now not just that, because the EXO-K have also more views, so more people probably interested in that. Plus, I can't react to 6 music videos in one video. We're already at over 5 minutes alone from the intro. That it would just squeeze through the length of the video. Plus, 3 members had already left from the Chinese sub-unit. So, unfortunate for Lei, Ximin, and Chen that I'm now not going to be checking out more of them for at least until, you know, we get to older releases. But it just makes the most sense to only focus on EXO-K. I think that's understandable. Okay, enough talking. 5-minute long intro. Holy smokes, that's the issue about these uncut videos. I just lose myself in words and just have to explain things on the get-go. Let's check this out. January 3rd of 2012, a totally different time. No idea what to expect sound-wise from this. I think I'm seeing D.O and Baekhyun on the thumbnail already. Generally, yeah, we have D.O, Baekhyun, Suho, Sehun, Kai, and Chanyeol. Now, for the EXO-K songs, let's check this out. What is love? Goddamn, and we have no subtitles available because SM didn't do that until 2017.
Girl, I can't explain what I feel.
It's so old we don't even have 1080p. Ooh, okay. Harmonies. Harmonies. Baekhyun. D.O and Baekhyun. Vocal duo. Very calm beginning, but it already feels very different compared to nowadays releases. Kai, hello. Can't wait for his comeback, y'all. Ooh, I love that duo moment there to lose my mind. This sounds vocally so good. This was the pre-debut song, I think, right? They sound amazing here already. This is insanely much vocal focus, or is the music video now probably showing who's singing right now? I guess that may be an issue. Because for now it seems like it's only D.O and Baekhyun. There's probably been some others as well. Whoa. Ooh. The vocal work in this, what the hell? I guess it's really what they want to go for. A very vocally impressive debut / pre-debut. Such simple music video production, obviously. Like mentioned, we're in 2012. It's slow motion, we do the slow motion effect, that's cool. Ooh, but this sounds vocally so good, seriously. I think... Is it Sehun or Suho? I'm not sure right now. Was it Kai? Like this is... Oh! That's sick. Like, I've been getting better at their names and like who's who, but now with these extremely young looks of them, it's not possible for me. It's very simple guitar string the entire time through. Okay, but this bit sounds so good, seriously. I lose my mind. This melody there is gorgeous. Na 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 na. Ooh. It sounds so good. Lovely melody. It's a very simple music video too, but I love the shots they went for. They really wanted to... They really said, hey, it's our pre-debut, we don't care, we're here to vocally dominate. What the hell? And here we now have everyone together. Like mentioned, for the EXO music video, I think it would have really just been the showcase of the other 6. But the same song, basically, just in Mandarin/Chinese. Okay, from EXO Planet. That's generally the thing. The music video already like teased a little bit these symbol things, you know. The music video was obviously due to its time frame, due to the time when it was released, very simple in the production, but I think it still looked pretty damn good and holds up quite well. It has such an aesthetically pleasing feeling to it. It was a very low grayish color grading overall, so the entire music video looked rather darkish, still bright, so bright colors, but you know, not colorful really. And that made for such a cool watch nonetheless. Some slow-mo shots, you know, some showcase shots or whatnot. They tried their best, you know, they tried their best to make it look good without having a lot of money here. But what I wanted to check seriously, because like mentioned, it literally felt like it was basically just D.O. and like it was just D.O. and Baekhyun. Line distribution. Oh damn, only 6.9k views. Is it really? It is really just them. Okay. Okay, does it mean that that unique dislike surely came from Kai? Okay, so I'm not tripping. It was really just Baekhyun and D.O. Okay, that is quite interesting actually, because was that wanted? Are the other 2 music videos now going to be also a duo song basically? So that we basically say we have 3 music video songs, and then we do, because each unit has 6, the 2 members take each of these songs solely for them, so that we have basically 3 songs, but 6 different versions with 2 members for each? Is that what we're going for? I mean, it would be kinda nuts, you know, but I'm a bit confused right now why it was only D.O. and Baekhyun performing while the rest were just there basically, just modeling basically in that sense. That's going to be really interesting. Next up is going to be History, which was released, I think, in March? I think it's going to be released in March, but before we get to that, like mentioned, the song is awesome nonetheless. Like mentioned, I was a bit confused at first. Okay, it's just D.O. and Baekhyun, am I missing something? But I guess it was really the intention here. It sounds great. I mentioned all the time in the more recent EXO reactions that I love these 2 voices together, and would have loved for some duo content basically of them. That's what we got here. What Is Love is an awesome vocal song, and it's vocally extremely strong too. Like mentioned, there were some moments in between where they just flexed those vocals and showcased at their debut, their pre-debut, that they're already, you know, coming for top vocalist position within K-pop. Like mentioned, I think the Chen and Baekhyun Immortal something came from just a year after that as well. When they're like at the early 20s or so at that point. Holy moly! Oh, that is crazy. But yeah, next up is EXO History, which is released a bit after that, which I don't think like around 2 months or so, March 8th. Yeah, March 8th. But here we have a colored lyrics thing though, so maybe this will actually be full then. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Okay, from all of you EXO elves, gladly tell me what the decision making / what was the, you know, why did they go for only 2 of the 6 members for the first song? What the point was behind that? Maybe there was a reason for it, I'm not sure. But it looks like History will be featuring all members, so bit confusing, or like at least, you know, didn't feel like EXO-K, but more like Baekhyun and D.O. But like mentioned, I had no issue with it. Sounded great nonetheless. So awesome. Song was awesome. Bit confused why it was only the 2 of them, while the others just stood there basically. But anyways, EXO-K What Is Love sounded great nonetheless. Loved the vocal work from both D.O. and Baekhyun there, and visual wise, obviously big difference compared to nowadays as SM production. I mean, alone the camera quality, like mentioned, we can't even get 180 because 1080 because it just didn't exist back then on YouTube. But okay, next up is History, released like around 2 months after that. Let's check it out. EXO-K History music video. Here we have. Nope. Oh. Okay. Oh, but here now it seems to be like more. Die. Again. Oh, that's bit with the EDM. That sounds great. Yo, I think the emblems were done by Chanyo, right? Like I'm saying for these three, but not the other three yet. Ooh. Oh, digging that out, digging the outfits here. Those pants though, god damn, that's really just a style and sound shock right here. Oh, what a choreo! Ooh. Bleeding quietness. That was fun. Oh, I love this EDM studio. Make it with the swag. I'm really digging the styling here. That's actually pretty cool. I think it holds up well. Ooh. Oh, that bit of the choreo was fun with like pushing him further down. Great pre-chorus. Oh, this chorus is so fun. Like the sound in general. Ooh, that's Chanyo, right? Yo, back at it. Oh, it really sounds old school. It just really has that feeling to it. But it still holds up so well. I think now we're showing some of the Chinese members too. The vocal work back then already, man. Oh! Never mind, are you Chanyo? Or Suho? Ooh. Ooh, this is fire! Seriously, this holds up so good. I love this choreo too. EXO's choreos have always been so energetic. This slightly disco EDM beat with such great pacing to it. Ooh. From Exoplanet. Oh, look at these. Oh my goodness. Wait, does the website even still exist? I don't know, it's just... I feel like back then these type of animations were a big deal, and nowadays you're like, ooh. Wait a second, does it still exist? Everything.com? Does the website still exist because I'm hearing it for the first time? Oh, not available from your country. Oh, that's unfortunate. Seriously. It holds up insanely well, but you just feel that it's old school, you know? You just feel the old school is coming through, basically. Even though, you know, it's now my first real old school K-pop that I listen to. Like, I know that when I will check out more of SHINee and B2B, I think I will be getting very old as well, probably even older than 2012, but... Ooh, you definitely feel that it's not from nowadays, you know? But that's not neither a good nor bad thing, you know, in the sense of because... I'm always the type of person that says, actually, never mind. I will definitely say that, like, when we go to more of the typical pop songs, I think the 2010s definitely did a better job than the 2000s. The 2000s did a better job than the 2010s. Like, the songs from 2000 to 2010 are so much better than the ones from 2010 to 2020. I'm the type of person already. Because I just remember back then sitting there in my TV 5 years or so before this came out still, sitting there playing my games or just... I don't know. I can't remember what I did at 7 years old, and having Viva play. I think not sure if that exists nowadays either anymore, and just listen to the music that was going on there. So back then, you can definitely say that maybe back then things were better. nowadays K-pop is stacked nonetheless, so I wouldn't definitely take a side here because I didn't experience these times firsthand myself. But EXO really been delivering hits since the beginning, y'all. Since the damn beginning. And this now definitely evolved more, or like all EXO members, I guess. I do want to still go again into checking quickly before I'm talking nonsense. EXO-K history, line distribution, definitely back here in the definitely. It's YouTube on phone is literally not possible to enjoy. It's impossible. The amount of 80s are just it just can't. Let's check. Yep. Majority is still back here. Oh, Chanyeol got actually a lot. Kai as well, though. Oh, Sehun barely got anything. Let's see. Okay. So this time we definitely had every member involved. But yeah, this song again, it definitely had that old school feeling to it, but it still holds up pretty well because it just has a very funky feeling to it. This funky dance type of EDM bit. It really invites you to dance, and this was generally the focus here already. I think that's definitely what EXO wanted to go for. Not just impress vocally, but also showcase how incredible they are at dance. Because the choreo already for like the bit for What Is Love already looked pretty cool, but here it especially looks pretty fun. With a lot of electronic dance moves included there too, with like the one is in the back of like the marionette master, and the others are moving at his command basically. There were a lot of cool little things in there. Also gotta say, I love their styling here already. I don't know why. It's obviously very it jumps into your eye type of styling, but I think it suits them a lot. I think it really looks cool. Like I thought at first, like, oh my goodness, they're going to be looking horrible, like clothes-wise. I think visually they already looked stunning back then, but I think they aged like fine wine. Let's say it like this, they're still all insanely young. I think none of them is over 30 yet, or like generally even over 30 isn't old, but definitely they look great nowadays. They looked already good back then, but they look even more stunning nowadays. And yeah, this song definitely holds up well. I love the energy of it. I love the tempo of it. It had a good tempo to move along. I love the bit where they cut off the beat completely, or like only had silent elements going on there until we go back into the full groove for it. It was really cool. There was definitely already such a difference to What Is Love, which was obviously, like mentioned, a vocal duo, which was just fully vocal focused. While we here had more flow variation and more different sounds and different pacing all the way through. And of course, that ending bit was obviously my highlight. That flow variation there at the end was sick. Let's get into that one more time. Still, the production, it's still, you feel from the production alone, sound-wise, that it's such a different era. It's so differently produced than nowadays' SM songs. With the bacon hideout in the background already. Ooh, did he say EXO-M, EXO-K? That sounded badass. Did catch that the first time. Because don't have subtitles, but... Oh, Kaido already. He already had that attitude back then. Hell yeah. Ooh. This song bangs. This song bangs. This song is fun. This song is really, really fun. And well, I obviously can't catch everything straight away, but I will definitely re-listen to this as well. And I think this could be really, really fun to listen to, Like already from the first 2 impressions, or like 1.5 impressions. I just love the feeling of it, It, like mentioned, feels old school. It feels really different. It feels like a different era, but still feels like EXO. You still feel that EXO flavor from it. Not just alone to the voices, but just, I don't know, it just fits them so well, this type of sound. A lot of EDM involved there, but it's obviously very much to dance to, I think that's probably the type of, that's basically how I would explain an EXO song. You can dance to it quite easily, or like it invites you to dance, or makes room for a big choreo, or like a cool choreo, while having a lot of vocal focus, but also involves a big rap break near the end or in between. So I think that are the 3 key elements for an EXO song. Good to dance to, vocal focused, and big rap break in between or near the end. I think that are the three key elements they get from majority of EXO songs, at least from the title tracks. History, that was a lot of fun as well. Might as well actually prefer to What Is Love, but I can't judge it yet after just a second listen. Like I mentioned, What Is Love was a gorgeous vocal duo between Dio and Baekhyun, which sounded great. This song obviously had a bit more variety in the sense of more floor variation and more voices, and the rap break near the end too with a funky sound as well. Love both songs thus far. Both songs really damn good. You notice it's from a different time, but they hold up pretty well nonetheless. And now we're getting into Mama, which was released, I think, at the beginning of April, which it has quite an amount of views too. I think nearly 159 or so. I think this was their official debut. 9 years ago, never mind, 95 million views, released on April 7th, 2012. April 7th, 2012, yeah. Goodness gracious. 6 minutes? What? What? That thing is okay. Okay, yeah, okay, we could have definitely not do every EXO-K and video one. Well, oh my, 6 minutes? What the hell are they going to do there? I don't think they would be doing like a 6-minute song or so and have like all members involved and like 12 members versus whatnot, but okay. I remember people talking to me about like how EXO has like actually a gimmick going on. Like we already see it here from EXO Planet. I guess this would be some origin type of thingy. Maybe. Did they like explain stuff there, and from then on we don't really get to hear it anymore, but they involve it in individuals or whatnot? No idea. Let's get into it. Okay, 6-minute music video. I don't think I've had it yet either.
When the skies and the grounds were
actually,
upon
okay.
Legends, through their 12 forces, nurtured the tree of life.
Okay, now I gotta focus on visuals, but
Red Force created
why are there no subtitles? It's easier when I read it.
The heart of tree of life, and the heart slowly grew dry. To attend and embrace the heart of tree of life, the legends hereby divide the tree in half and hide each side. Hence, time is overturned and space turns askew. The 12 forces divide into two and create two suns that look alike, into two worlds that seem alike.
This is epic.
The legends travel apart.
Why does Skippy some...
The legends shall now see the same sky, but shall stand on different grounds. Shall stand on the same.
Why does it remind me of some
different skies?
Yu-Gi-Oh cutscene explaining the three Egyptian god cards or something?
File before one sky, in two worlds that seem alike, the legends will greet each other. The day the red forces
I mean,
purify,
that's like so...
the 12 forces reunite into one perfect root.
Ah,
A
damn.
new world shall open up.
Now, okay. This is... What the... No, it says... We're not on the set screen, so... We're freaking... What? Do we have a Genie 80 in the song? Ooh. I think Kai teleports, right? They didn't tell... Ooh. Oh, okay. This has that epic badass soundtrack vibe. Okay, I thought they, like... I remember here that they have, like, powers or so, but they, like, didn't fully explain them here at the beginning, but I guess maybe now in the music video. Oh! Woo. Okay, I love this sound. Is it Kai teleporting around the entire time? Oh! Way brighter tone now. Yo, but this sound is so epic. Like mentioned, movie soundtrack feelings. Ooh. Choreo again on point. Tie back with those pants. Ooh. This beat is hitting hard, y'all. Seriously. Get a freaking G pop-up 80s in the music video. It's really 2012. Vocal work again. Woo! Oh, that was badass. Woo! Like mentioned, I can only tell Kai, Dio, and Bacon here. But I know the names of the other three, but I can't tell who's who. But ooh, the group singing sounds so good all the time. Ooh, ooh, that's right. This now, production-wise, already for the music video, looks like something we could see nowadays. Oh, rip time! Ooh! Oh! God damn, this took a switch. Is it Kai? Or is it Chanyeol? Or I think they're all they're painting on actually. Ooh! This background thingy now sounds like some... It kind of gives me cold vibes. I don't know, it's so hard to put into words. These cheesy pop-up 80s. Gotcha. Okay, this is... I get you in a moment, but... Oh, now Oracle 2. Okay, he's going with fire, whatnot. He's a waterbender, is an avatar or what? It just keeps out. Oh, we all. They did the trend. They invented. Oh, okay. This is like unironically funny in some ways, but it's also epic and badass. Woo! Wait, did the song actually go around 5 freaking minutes? What? Like the song started at like 1:30. So you're telling me? Never mind, around like okay, 4.5 minutes or so. Yeah, okay, that's actually not that bad, you know. But that was quite a lot. Okay. Okay, first of all. If someone would have shown me this on that, actually, it's hard to explain, but like, this is so SM. Like, I don't think I could expect or like see any other K-pop company, okay, maybe actually like a totally small one that's like going for something completely unique or innovative or new, but if there's any company I could see do something like that, it's SM. Like, this didn't just feel like a music video, it felt like a whole damn anime story or whatnot. Like mentioned, this opening bit here, this opening animation, which was epic, really reminded me of some like old cartoon cutscene in between to explain, you know, like the Egyptian god cards and the seven with the ring and the and whatnot, you know. Can't think of the English words because I've only watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In German, but I don't know, that was pretty damn cool. Even though I kind of didn't really... I wasn't able to take a lot in of it, you know, because like mentioned, I may understand English fully and speak it fluently, but it's always easier for me to read lyrics than hear them. That's even when I listen to English songs, put on the subtitles, because as a non-native speaker, it's still way easier for me to read it than hear it. So, yeah, it was a bit difficult to catch everything from there, but it really seems like every member got like powers or so, and that's where I'm actually going to be Googling that, because it definitely seemed like one was a firebender, one was a waterbender, the other... the ground bender or like earthquakes and whatnot. Oh goodness. EXO members' powers. powers. EXO facts, EXO powers. Ah, okay. Jihoon wins. Kai got teleportation. I saw that already. I think it wasn't actually teleporting at the beginning of dropping 2 and teleporting throughout as well. God damn, they've really been keeping that for over a decade already. God damn. Tao, which was a former Chinese member, time control. Dio did the earth thing, exactly. He split the earth in half. Chanyo got the fire. Chen got lightning. Baekhyun got light. Lai has healing. Suho got water. Chris got flight, and Loon telekinesis, and Xiumin got frost. God damn. One even lighter was clear everything, but some things obviously stood up more, like the ground stuff and fire and whatnot. So, I love what they were going for, but it's still kind of, you would definitely need many more re-listens and go into lyrics and whatnot to, I think, really get everything. Or, just be there from the beginning. Because now for me, as first experience and watching, I'm like, I wasn't sure what to focus on, Do I want to see, okay, who's who, what power they're using, but you also want to listen to the song or whatnot? A bit overwhelming. But, not too, nothing too negative, but, it was a lot to take in. Something that SM would do, or they have been doing with Entity over the years as well. That was a lot to take in. But, again, this concept is awesome. This idea is sick. Debuting your members with literally a origin background story, split trees and suns, and everybody got superpowers, literally mentioned, Avatar, Last Airbender, everybody had, they were for with one of the elements, healing time, and ooh, that's so cool, It's really damn cool and very creative, and just something one of a kind. I don't think there's been anything like it since. I can't think of anything that goes into such direction, or at least from what I've seen. So EXO since the beginning, like mentioned here, they fully focused on that. I'm not sure how it will impact the releases after that. Here before already, we saw only now in the other 2 music videos some teasing for it, but Mama at least was fully focused on this superpower and whatnot, outer space type feeling, But that's just now concept-wise and visually. Visually, though, I gotta say, this definitely felt bigger. This definitely felt bigger than both What Is Love and History. Definitely felt like something I could have seen nowadays, except for the camera quality, which is bad because, I mentioned, we only have 720p. This definitely felt from the production or it simply felt bigger. It simply felt like a bigger thing than the other 2s. But yeah, this is sound-wise awesome as well. This was sound-wise freaking awesome. Like mentioned, it had so many different sounds in it. Like mentioned, was 4.5 minutes long, or maybe even more, and really had so much included. From many classical instruments to many different themes and vibes, but especially I really wanted to go for somewhat ominous, like an ominous, cold type of feeling, especially with these full group harmonizing, I think with some voice folder orbit, which really sounded like they were cold trying to summon the devil from the underworld or something like that, I should actually get to some points, but I don't think I can use this again, but na 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 na. We have these heavy drums, extremely heavy drums. We have the violins. It just feels like it's out of a Lord of the Ring movie, or actually just an epic movie scene and conclusion to a big finale or something like that. So from the vibes, from the sound, what they want to go for, it suits this entire theme of showcasing your superheroes, your Power Rangers and whatnot, Again though, it at some points felt somewhat, I wouldn't exactly say silly, but it just was too much at some points, you know what I mean? The sound and then the visuals to it. This bit here especially, it do looks cool though. I actually kind of like the style they went for. I guess it has a further meaning too. Actually, I had the names as well. Is it Kai? I think that's Kai, right? Is it Kai? It's the quality is you gotta mention always have a second monitor going on here, and the second monitor has the thing in full quality, and my quality is usually always a little bit worse, So this probably isn't even 720p. So even when I react to something in 1080p, I usually don't have the full HD one, but this screen will then have, and I literally can't see it. I'm sorry, y'all. I literally can't. But either way, this sound, like mentioned, it's very epic. It's very movie-like. It's very yeah, it just feels big, you know, similar to Jumping, even though, like mentioned, Jumping just had that feeling of Avengers Assembling, badass type of vibe, also movie feeling. This has a movie feeling in the sense of, you know, just some big fighting scene from a movie or whatnot, you know. It's hard to really explain, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Again, though, really hard for me to distinguish them from back then because they just look so different. They matured a lot visually and face-wise, you know, that's normal. I will look totally different in 9 years too. But I love the styling nonetheless. I think they look great. I think they already look pretty damn cool there, even though you definitely see huge differences in styling from back then to nowadays. I think that isn't just for EXO, but I think for the general scene back then. Like when I look at shiny thumbnails alone already, then the entire styling and the hairstyles especially, they look so different. Along this hair, I don't think you see such hair nowadays in K-pop anymore. I think this was definitely trend back then with the... Seriously, I can't have such hair too, and I could never wear that. I just hate it when my forehead is covered in hair and it goes over the eyes and whatnot. I could never wear it, but it looks cool nonetheless. But yeah. Kinda like mentioned, teleporting throughout the entire world. Here now. The vocal work was already awesome all the way through back then. Now this group chorus sounds awesome. Choreo looks fun again as well. Doing those spins. Oh, I love the moments they stop there in the choreo for a moment and continue. It really feels gently. I wouldn't say it's too overloaded, but it's definitely the type of music video. Oh yeah. Okay, I don't know why, but this just... I think that's really what made it so silly in some way. You have like these... You have like something so huge going on, and you're trying to introduce your big new creative world, 12 members, everybody has superpowers, you're making this feel really big, you have them stand there in hoods and whatnot, like cold and whatnot, and then you get freaking genie pop-up aliens in the video, you know, not as a YouTube feature, but it's literally part of the file. They literally have that in the file. I don't know, it's just kind of... it's just so unironically silly. I don't know. It's like, imagine you'd listen to EXO Monster. You in between get their like Suchu CF sound there or something. That just feels so 2012. Here's the wind. Yeah. Now once I read it, it's easier to distinguish what everybody's supposed to be doing. Even though the other 6 probably just weren't shown and they are on EXO-M instead. This group chorus again though, it's been an EXO thing since the beginning. Singing your choruses together, they're very full too. Sounds amazing. Here, that was sick. Woo! Here now, a dance break time. That was sick too. I already know that when I listen to this song without the music video, it will feel so different. The music video alone though is sick. It looks bigger now. That riff is sick as well. That bit was freaking awesome. Who was that? Was that Kai? Ah yeah. We go from this awesome slow-mo dance move into the screaming bits. I think that's Kai. Is that Kai? Was it Kai? I'm not sure. I think it is. That's just, it feels so, I would say out of place, but it just comes so out of nowhere. Then that high note though. Again out here with the, we're summoning a demon type of group scene. Back with Ginny. It's, now we're Oracle too, there's so much in this. I'm overwhelmed y'all. Excuse me, but it's just too much to process. So many different things, so many things to focus on. 80s in the video itself. Kiss cosplays. But it sounds awesome, like mentioned. Here, a TikTok trend back then already. Whew. It's again, like mentioned, due to these little things, it's a bit funny and silly, but it's still awesome. I still love the idea. These widgets here are sick. God damn. God damn. That's a lot to take in. We're at over 45 minutes again already. And now imagine we would have reacted to the other three as well. Too much. But yeah. EXO-K Mama. Or EXO Mama. That was an experience. Let's just say it like that. I love this opening bit, like mentioned, with the animation. Looked awesome. Looks sick. But I would probably have to read that myself to really understand it. Because it's just not always that easy. But yeah, the song itself, like mentioned, it's really long. It's really full. There's a lot in it. There's a lot of switches too, from sound elements to, like mentioned, from just violence to adding an organ at the end, and then the dance break, and then the riff section, whatnot, then the screaming section, which really reminded me of something you could hear in a punk band, you know. Isn't there this scream singing, the and whatnot, you know? There was a lot to take in. So please don't be too harsh on me for, you know, it was a bit much for someone who wasn't there since the beginning, you know. I feel like back then already this was definitely something very different. Like mentioned, I love the fact that they went for this entire idea and concept in general. Exoplanets, superpowers, this big feeling here, some type of code-like presence and presentation with the hoods as well in the song too. God damn, EXO Mama was an experience, was very different. Generally, the entire three songs here today, you definitely feel and realize that this is a different time, that this was from a different era of K-pop. It still holds up in my opinion. Like mentioned, it would definitely be a very different experience when I just listen to the audio in comparison to with the music video, because the music videos were just, especially with me trying to figure out who's who. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with all of this. I enjoyed this a lot, you know. This was definitely something very different. Probably one of the most unique and different music videos and reactions on this channel for sure. Because it was just that much at once. Had a lot of fun with it, enjoyed it a lot. And I hope you enjoyed my reactions. If you did, leave a like down below to show me what you did. Obviously, gladly clear me up about any type of questions I asked throughout this video. Just anything you want to say about these first 3 music videos, tell me all about down below in the comments as well. And as always, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you want to support me, you can gladly leave a sub as well, or support my Patreon. It would help me a lot. Like mentioned, we have skipped the Baekhyun mini album reaction to next week, and after that we will be having the Kai comeback. Hell yeah! New music video, new mini album with 5 more songs. Hallelujah! Going to be a lot of fun as well. And then we're in December, and I actually want to do DO2. I hope I will be able to squeeze them in. Otherwise, we'll definitely be doing all the winter albums in December, plus the winter music videos. So a lot of extra to look forward to, just like many other good K-pop content. So for whatever content you may be interested in, for whatever content you may want to in for, obviously get on this channel. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Have a great time, have a great weekend, and see you again soon with more EXO reactions and the Kai's comeback. Thanks for watching.